You know what they don't tell you about starting over? That doesn't mean that you failed. It just means you're grown. Because you're actually not starting from scratch. You are starting from experience. And honestly, that changes everything. You know, we've been wired to think that when something ends or something comes to an end, a job, a dream, a relationship, or a season, we've somehow failed. And in certain area, failed is seen, you know, as a really this horrible thing, and you know, forevermore it's horrible, that's it. And sure, it can sometimes feels like it's over and that's it. And because, you know, you're in that space of rebuilding, you are in that space of adjusting, you are in that space of, you know, grieving. But the truth of the matter is that every time that you're actually starting over, you are not actually going back to zero. You're actually starting with tools, with perspective, with grit. I recently watched a clip of a famous person. I don't really know, I don't remember their name, but I thought it was something really, really powerful. He was asked by somebody, a reporter, who said that, you know, because they didn't win that particular, you know, sort of game or whatever it was, that season. And the reporter said, was this season a failure? And he responded with the most amazing thing ever. He said, Michael Jordan won a few championships. Does that mean that the other seasons were failure? And, you know, he's like, of course not. Just because you didn't actually win that particular time doesn't mean like the whole journey was just wasted. Even through all of quote unquote failure, you've actually gained something to move forward. So here's a little bit about my story. When I first came to Australia, I had only had a few years of my schooling, right? Just overall in general, due to war and all of that, right? And there was obviously things outside of my control that disrupted my education. And then suddenly came to a new country, new language, new systems and all of that. So to me as a young person, it felt like we are starting over. We're actually starting over from scratch. It felt like that, right? But what people couldn't see and what I couldn't see for myself at the time was that there's something deeper that I carried with me. I carried resilience. I carried a hunger. I carried a deep vision for my future. And it was those things that really pushed me forward, not just the textbook or the system that, you know, that even got me to university, but it was actually the rest of my experiences before that that actually helped me build, you know, the career that I have, and that shaped me in so many actually ways. Sometimes looking back now, certain circumstances, or, you know, within my life, I'm like, oh gosh, thank God that actually certain things didn't work out, because those things might have crushed me. Those opportunities, or early opportunities, could have crushed me, could have not been a blessing, but I could be crying about that. And sometimes, like, in God's mercy, in God's infinite way, I was redirected in so many different areas of my life, and I'm sure you can say the same for you. And sometimes what I feel like it's been a rejection was only just to redirect me to a different path and things like that. And I'm grateful. And that starting over moment is sometimes the fresh, better beginning, and you can feel and you can know at some time that's exactly what you're actually built for. So if you're feeling like you're starting over right now, I just want you to know you're actually not back to zero. You've learned something new and you're actually building from there on. You are stepping forward with wisdom, with grace, with experience, and this new beginning might just be one of your best yet. So, an encouragement for this week. I want you to look at it, shift your mindset and say, I am starting over with experience. I'm starting over in a beautiful way. I am starting over with tools. So if this video resonated with you, please comment, like, share with, you know, somebody who might be feeling like, you know, they're starting from zero again. Hope this message encouraged you, and see you guys in the next video.